Yo, 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 yo. Hidden knowledge. You already know what it is. It's your boy H2O, the Cameron Gun, Horton Here's a Who, Choice D, all above. Right back at you. Episode 52. Ray Lou 52. Yes, sir. That shouts to Ray Lewis, greatest middle linebacker all time, my personal opinion. But go
Better
ahead.
than Brian Urlacher?
Yeah, Brian Urlacher is like 1A or 1B.
Well,
1B, 2 is 1A.
Chuck Benderick. Was it Chuck Benderick or Mike Ditka? Was Mike Ditka?
Oh, Mike Ditka, yeah, he's up there.
I thought he was he a linebacker or a tight end?
No, he is tight end. You talking about like Jack Lambert or Dick Butkus.
There you go. Yeah, Dick Butkus.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's in my head somewhere. I'm gonna find that shit in there. Go ahead, cuz.
It's your boy Giuliani. We are here, episode 52, Hidden Knowledge Podcast. Why was wisdom talk on the tip of my tongue?
I know.
It was on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, it's the transition, man.
We're still getting used to it.
You see the fist on the logo, you know.
Yeah.
We're gonna break the chain on that.
Yeah.
You know?
So even with that being said, like the logo, like it kind of gives you like a nostalgic feel to it.
You know,
like a 90s, 80s, 90s.
You know,
like we're going back to retro times.
Yeah. You know.
So that's why I threw in like that hidden knowledge. Kind of gives like that.
I should
living color.
I'm gonna change on this particular one. I'm gonna make the THE black and then the hidden burgundy maroon and then knowledge black. Well,
alternate it?
Yeah, I'm gonna alternate it basically. Switch the colors of hidden and THE, switch them around.
I get you. That would definitely coordinate better.
Yeah. But it's cool though. We rock with it. You know, we have different color schemes because the last episode.
Y'all catch this right now live on Facebook.
Live on Facebook.
For everybody else on YouTube and everywhere else that we on.
Yep.
We're out here. We're open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open for business.
Open for business. All right.
So
where we start with today, huh?
Great question.
Well, okay. Well, we were talking about in the car on the way here. We could talk about stuff like a certain shooting that occurred.
The United Healthcare CEO.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
What's his name? Brian Thompson.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my glasses off.
I think it is Thompson.
Glasses off for this episode. Brian.
I know, right? Let's
Brian.
go ahead and do
Brian Thompson.
Episode, man.
Yeah, I might as well. Brian Thompson, because I feel like I'm gonna use the computer a little bit.
Yeah, bounce around.
Yeah, just on some different.
Yeah, you got someone's got to be tapped into pulling up sources and shit.
Right. So United. Let's just get his name right before we jump in.
So to summarize things while Giuliani is pulling things up is that there was a certain assassination, so-called, where this person that is like a CEO or like he controls the insurance of healthcare for a big conglomerate of people, and the whole job of insurance is to like the way they make their money is to try to restrain pushing their money out to helping others by any means necessary. So they try to be like a last resort type of thing. So it is like there's a thing where on the internet, since the dude was assassinated, that a lot of people are like, good riddance, like, and so what? Like, it's real cold approach because of that, as he pulls up though.
Mm-hmm. So his name is Brian Thompson. He was 50 years old. Relatively, not too old. You know what I'm saying? Not
old at all.
And he was the CEO.
His position.
He was put into the CEO position in 2022.
Oh, he was relatively new in that shit.
Yeah.
So what do you think it was an inside job?
I wouldn't say inside job, but at the same time, I don't think it was just a random act of violence. I don't think so.
You think the person was in the company?
The person either the shooter himself was a part of United Healthcare or had some sort of ties to United Healthcare, or the shooter was hired.
I don't think the shooter was hired.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That could be a hit. It could have been a hit that was put out on him.
The only way I think the shooter was hired is because, the only reason why I don't think so is because it was sloppy.
It wasn't sloppy. You know
It
how he
could've
got
been
shot?
better. Because like the first shot with the shoulder,
No.
like it should have been like that shouldn't even happen.
First of all, the CEO had no security with him. That was
Yeah.
mistake number one.
Yeah, of course. There's that.
So security or the CEO guy was walking across the street towards the Hilton Hotel, and the killer, the homie, just shot him at a distance. Just shot him. Boom, boom, boom.
But it shouldn't even have took him. He shot too many shots.
He's a bad aim. But
Yeah, that's what I mean by like. That's why I don't like. If it was a hit, like I would think someone that's taking hits.
Yeah, if it was a professional hitman or hit woman, they're already prepared. They're not cocking the gun. They're not missing any shots.
That's what I'm saying.
It's gonna be a smooth. It's gonna be a boom, in and out, done.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's why it wasn't like it was.
So
just,
in that case, yeah. I agree with you. I don't think it was a hit. I think it's more along the lines of disgruntled employee or the person. This is not just a random bystander. Let's just get that out the way. This guy has connections or ties to United Healthcare somehow.
It could even just be like a family member of his.
I was about to say that too. Yeah, it could be a family member of his who suffered and they had United Healthcare. So he was like, man, I'm just going to take this dude out. Like,
there's a movie called John Q with Denzel Washington.
Classic.
It's a similar concept of a possibility of the situation.
If you've lived under a rock for the last 20 years since it came out and you have not seen John Q, you need to go see John Q.
Yeah, I don't want to like ruin the concept.
Yeah, we're not going to put spoilers out there for the ones that have been under the rock.
Can I at least like say like the concept of the movie without ruining it? Like,
yeah, you can say the concept.
Okay, so his son has an enlarged heart, and they're trying to find a transplant, and they're not trying to help him. So things get extreme when you're not trying to help a father save his son. Mm-hmm. So that's the concept of it.
There you go.
But yeah, and that's a possibility of what happened because for someone to go to like, and that's why like the reason why this is so polarized is how the internet is reacting to it.
Right.
And a lot of people are like, and so what? And like some people are like going to such measures where they're like, if you need someone to protect you, we got you and stuff. And just like, it kind of comes off grotesque because he's still a human being. And I still have, like, my moral compass is like, damn, this motherfucker got murked. And y'all talking about protecting the dude that murked him? He's not like a person that deserves to die.
Right.
He's not a good person, probably. But he's not a person that good. Like just because you're a bad person, don't mean you deserve to die. That's just me. That's just me.
Now, they say investigators still don't know his name. They haven't found the gun. They don't know why he ambushed Thompson as the insurance executive walked to the company's annual investor conference at the Hilton in Manhattan. So
it seems like he's gonna be able to run for a while. They're gonna find him eventually.
They got him on camera. Like if you look at the picture that I'm seeing now, it's like a face, like you could see his face in a brown, grayish.
Yeah, and with the technology they have, they already know who it is. It's just finding him. He's a runaway.
Right, he's a fugitive.
Yeah, he's a runaway fugitive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just about finding him. But I think he's in good hidings.
Yeah.
I think so. Like, it's going to be a while till they find him. I don't think they're going to find him soon. But, like, they're going to find him eventually.
But, this goes back to the law enforcement, just law enforcement in general. Like, they know who this guy is. I feel like there's stall tactics going on. This just goes back to another issue with just law enforcement in general. Deep. Yeah, because there's too much technology. There's too many cameras. Cameras are everywhere. Too many cameras, too much technology for you to not know who this guy is, especially on a high-profile execution like that. Come on. Y'all know who he is. Y'all are just trying to figure out how y'all can maybe spin this somehow or lighten up the blow to the assailant. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I feel. I mean, I don't know. Because look at this picture, bro. Like, I'm going to just turn it. You can't tell me you can't identify this man. Look at that.
Damn.
You know who he is. I seen
that picture too.
You know who he is. They know who he is. They know who he is, bro. But this goes back to a bit.
So you think that, like, well, I would say from what you just said is that is a deeper intentions of why they haven't just cracked down on it.
Yes.
Is that They might be trying to use it as an example. But, like, what's the example they're trying to set? I don't know.
I think a lot of it has to do with money. Like, they're trying to figure out, because there's going to be some money.
Well,
somebody's gaining something from his death.
Money is the reason why he died.
Yes.
He got murdered.
Right.
It's always
that's what I think. But on top of that, I feel like there's going to, not I feel, but I think, I'm starting to reword my, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because feeling gets into emotion, you know what I'm saying? I think that somebody's going to get a bag out of this. Somebody's gaining what Brian Thompson lost.
Damn.
That's what I think.
Yeah, there's definitely money in this.
Yeah, somebody's going to gain.
Money's being transferred from this market.
That's why either the city's going to get it or somebody connected to Brian Thompson is going to. That's why law enforcement, I think, is stalling, because they're trying to figure out the ins and outs of who's going to get Brian Thompson's assets. Because I mean,
now I want to look into, like, he has a family and all that stuff.
He has a wife.
Does he have kids?
I don't know if he has kids, but his wife is being. You know what they say, right? They say when a high-profile person.
That's why you thought that his wife might be in on it.
They say that when a high-profile person like this,
I can't spoil that.
When a high-profile person like this gets executed, suspect number one is the spouse. That's what they say.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Yeah, because you got life insurance, right? You can come up on a huge bag off of life insurance.
Trust
funds, wills. Like, when that person who set all that up is gone, it's got to go somewhere.
My mom does life insurance. I know.
See? That's what I'm saying, man. I
almost got life insurance, but I wasn't gonna be paying all that money a month.
Yeah, it's a dirty game, man. It's a dicey, dirty game out here, man. It's wild.
And why would you know so much about that? About the insurance and all that stuff, like the medical. Yeah, what do you do?
Well, look at you, Leslie. I mean, I work for Blue Cross Blue Shield. I deal with claims and I deal with everyday customers sometimes too. But even before I worked with Blue Cross Blue Shield, I knew about this information too, about life insurance and trust funds and wills. I had a decent idea of them, not to the extent that I do now. Now, oh yeah, like I know all about it. I know how dicey the game can be.
Yeah, exactly. It can get dirty, right?
It can get real grimy. Yeah, for sure.
You want to know how grimy it could get? It could get as grimy as, like, whenever they take off your post, like, because you use like a president. Okay, this is a forced. That was a forced segment. But I was gonna talk about that.
You're trying to shoe that in. You're trying to, straw man that shit in. You're trying to, man. That's funny.
Yeah. No, man.
Shout out to YouTube.
Yeah, shout out to YouTube. I guess.
Oh man!
Let's see if they flagged it.
The next couple episodes we're about to drop. One of them we had to do some edits. We almost got a potential strike. So for simply playing a video in one of our clips, that's what we got we got a warning, not a strike. So I had to do some edits. So I had to basically take that clip out. You're still going to get our reaction to that clip, but I had to take that clip out and then basically transition and like going from scene to scene type of stuff, like blur it and swish it over.
Why did you have to take out that clip? What was it?
It was a Donald Trump clip.
Wait, is he our president?
He is, right?
So why would YouTube want you to take down a Donald Trump clip if he's our president?
Right?
You see.
We got a lot of bias going on.
I know.
But then again, is YouTube a publicly traded company or are they private?
They're public.
They're public?
Yeah,
but they still can call their own shots, kinda, to a certain degree.
So what it is that even though it's American found,
yeah,
is globally resonated. Like as far as,
so they have a board of directors, I think. They have from all over the world. Yeah, it's a global brand.
Yeah. So they have to be respectful upon the majority.
Right.
So even if something that's cool here,
we have a comment.
Cool.
Someone shouted me out. Shout out to
what?
Shout out to Lebga. What's up, man? And he's saying, talk about the CEO that got killed. Yeah, we just spoke
we
about
just
that.
did.
We're kind of still on it. We're kind of still on it a little bit.
That's crazy. That's good.
So,
hey, that's good. That's good. Hey, W chat.
Yeah. So
W's in the chat.
We talking about it right now a little bit.
We're tapped in.
Yeah.
Hidden knowledge.
Right. Got the hidden knowledge for you. But yeah, today's episode is kind of like we're kind of freestyling it a little bit.
Yeah, we are.
A little bit.
A little bit. Like we had some of these.
Yeah, I wish I was more prepared. I mean, next episode I'm going to be more prepared for sure with topics and stuff like that.
Not every episode has to be like deep rooted stuff.
True.
Like, we gotta have some chill ones too. You gotta balance it out.
True.
It's not like we be running these super long podcasts.
Right. Like the Whatever podcast, they be like 10 hours. People be leaving, going to have lunch, dinner with their families, and coming back on camera.
I'm the type of person that watches the whole podcast too. So I take breaks. I can't watch it all.
Oh, bro, I had to splice that up.
Like, man, when I watch that podcast, I watch like a couple hours here or an hour there. I split it by increments just to watch the whole episode.
Me personally, I had to.
Just to watch the whole episode.
Jeez.
Like, you can't just watch that shit in full. Yeah, it's like it's a whole shift.
It is.
I be working. I work. My shifts at Walmart be 9 hours, but it's like an hour lunch.
Yeah.
So it's 8 hours.
Right.
So these episodes be 8 hours.
I know.
8, 9. Like they be having episode. Like their longest episode, they have a 10-hour episode. They have
the one with that black dude in it that I wanted to take clips. It's a 10-hour episode.
That's a 10-hour.
You could see the sun was just bright and up in the beginning of the episode, and then like towards the end, it's just completely dark outside. I'm like, man, these people over here, these mofos over here, be on that thing all day. But homie be getting up though. He be getting up, going to his kitchen and like making food.
Bro, there's been times I've been watching that shit for so long that there's been times where he literally would have food.
Yeah.
He's eating burritos.
Yeah.
Eating fruits and shit. He'd be like just fully like and letting the girls talk while he's just eating at the table.
I know.
And shit. Like, what the fuck is going on
in that episode?
Nigga be ordering DoorDash.
I know.
He has his assistants get pizza for him. And
I know. That's what I'm saying. In that episode, you can see when he gets up, if you look at the mirrors or like the
reflection.
The reflection. See him moving around if you look at the glass, the windows, you can see the reflection of him in the kitchen and he's like making food. He's sitting there with his hands on his hips, just like watching. Like you can see him doing all sorts of.
He takes breaks, dog. He be taking breaks to let the girls go.
He does. Even the guest, the black dude, he got up. He would go to the kitchen, like hands on his hips, like chilling.
Because like there's one of the main special guests, Andrew Wilson, the white dude that has like a wife and his family. I don't know if I used a clip of him yet, but like he be on the show a lot. But long story short, he smokes cigarettes and stuff, so he'd be like going and taking smoke breaks and shit.
Oh, Andrew's the guy that on that particular episode he was on video chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
the
about.
Zoom call dude.
Yeah, he sounds.
But like sometimes he'd be there in person too.
Yeah.
But like even when he's on the video chat, like he'll go take breaks.
Yeah, he's kind of awkward. I ain't gonna lie. Like
he's awkward.
Yeah, to me he's awkward. Like I'm just like, I mean, him and the black dude were like having a good conversation, and he was making some good points, but he just comes off very like mundane and dry.
He is.
Yeah.
What it is about him is that he's been out the game for so long because he's married with children and stuff. Like,
yeah.
He's so washed. Like he's like he has 5 kids.
Oh wow.
He's married, 5 kids. He's 41 years old.
Okay.
Married with 5 kids.
Yeah.
He had his first kid in his early 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like he's checked out. So he comes in because he's a debater. The dude, the Andrew Wilson dude, that old white guy, which is in his 40s, but he looks older. But yeah, he's known for like doing debates. Like,
right.
He debates people. That's what his thing is. So he debates people. So that's why even he tried to challenge the black dude a little bit on his views and stuff.
Right.
Because that's what he does. He's a debater.
Shout out to Todd Cannon.
Oh, yeah.
What up? What it do, man?
Oh, he's in there?
Yeah. He just
what
came in
do?
the chat.
What it do?
Yeah, we got to get you on, man. Have a guest. I've been saying that for a minute, but we're gonna have to definitely make this happen.
We're gonna start bringing guests again. We're like actual.
When was the last
guests.
time we had a guest? I don't remember. I don't know.
I think it was Christina. I mean, like, what was your homegirl, the realtor? Oh my God,
She was the last guest?
that I could think of.
Really?
That I could think of.
Wow, yeah.
I could think of.
We gotta get some more. Yassine wants to come back too. I gotta get Yassine back up on here. He's been trying, he's just like,
Michelle wants to come back too.
Have her come back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Returning guests too. Like we just, yeah.
Damn, I can't wait for Michelle to come in this studio.
Oh yeah, she's gonna like it.
Man.
She's gonna dig it. She's gonna definitely dig it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no. So Lebgaw's saying, he's still in the chat. He's saying, what do y'all think about the job market currently?
Wow. Hey, you know what? This is gonna be a chat episode. Let's go ahead and respond to the chat.
I mean, if we keep them rolling, if we keep them coming in,
they're actually watching. We're growing.
They're coming in right now.
We're growing. Hey, the Facebook live streams are growing.
Yeah.
Hey, people
so
are
far
out
so
here.
good.
Hey, look, we're out here. Okay.
So, what do you think about the job market?
Okay,
what do you think?
Controversial take.
Okay, let's have it. I mean, we gotta. I mean, if it's too controversial, wink, wink, we'll edit. You know, so it is what it is. Whatever.
Hands in pockets and all.
Yeah, right, you know, I'm chilling. Okay. What's up? I got my favorite hoodie on. What's up?
Yeah, exactly. So,
what's up?
The reason why he asked that question is likely because it's scarce. It's scarce because more people are moving in. I'm thinking that he's from Houston as well.
Yeah, he's in Houston. He lives in Katy.
Exactly.
Specifically.
So, whenever it comes to trying to find opportunities and there's more people moving in, the opportunities are going to become more and more limited, aka scarce. Why? The job market is, like, if I was to think of a term to name it, there's an inflation. I mean, not an inflation, like a surplus. Like, I'm trying to think of the economic term for, like, the limitation. But I've already said it was scarcity. But yeah, but it just the link of what the issue is. So now it's about who you know.
And that was his next comment. He said, do you think it's about who you know or your schoolwork?
Checkmate. Who you know.
Right.
So because, like, there's a lot of people that are qualified, but because the other person's auntie or someone else is close to this person as wants the opportunity, that person skips ahead the person who's qualified.
Right.
And yeah, it's sick, but I've experienced it on both ends. I've gotten positions that I wasn't qualified for because of who I know, and I've missed out on opportunities and been skipped over by people who weren't less qualified than me.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. No, it's not an ask. No, I'm not. I don't have a question. I don't know. I have no idea why I said that. My bad. You know, in Texas, the minimum wage in Texas is still $7.25.
Yeah, I know. It breaks my heart.
I looked that up the other day.
I know.
Because I was talking to Christina.
Everywhere else keeps elevating, but us.
Yeah. I was talking to Christina the other day. Shout out to Christina. I don't know if you're watching, but what up? I looked up the minimum wage in Texas currently. It's $7.25.
It's been that for a long.
But I'm astonished by it. I'm baffled by it right now because inflation is going up. Everything is rising, and it's still $7.25.
You want to know why it is?
Why? Tell me.
And this is gonna be a conspiracy, but it only correlates in, like, people like to say correlation ain't causation, but I think for the most part correlation is causation, but it's not always. But for the most part, it is, and it's because Texas is the most illegal immigrant state of the whole country.
So you're saying that they keep it at $7.25 just so they can comfortably hire these undocumented people so they can continue to save money and hire the people that will do the work for less.
Thank you for breaking it down like that. Because that's 100% what I'm saying.
Okay.
And you 100% agree.
Yeah.
Why you can break it down like that? Why you can break it down like that is because you 100% see it.
Because it makes sense. I don't think it's a conspiracy.
No, I know, but it is a conspiracy because no one admits that.
I mean,
no one will admit
just
that.
because you don't admit what the truth is or what you think is factual doesn't mean it's not true or factual.
Why is delusion a word? Because this is what a lot of people live in. Most people.
But a lot,
majority.
and you know what? I think a lot of people.
Unfortunately.
I think a lot of people have been socially engineered into delusion. That's what I think.
100%.
That's what I think.
Yeah, that is
I don't think anybody. I see hidden knowledge.
Hidden knowledge. That shit.
But on some real though, like I don't think delusion is inherently instilled upon people. I think it's taught. I think it's socially engineered into the minds of the individual.
Because like, they get worse by the generation. So if it was inherent, it would be constant.
Right.
So if it's getting worse, then it's definitely a programming.
And the number one weapon of choice for delusion is propaganda.
100%.
Media, propaganda.
The fourth branch of government. There's actually a book called The Fourth Branch
of the Government.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Speaking of books, man, I have a whole list of books I'm going to get on Amazon. Most of them are from people that I listen to or informative books, mainly about like knowledge of self and black empowerment and stuff. You just remind me when you said books.
I'm not even a big book person. I was always an engineer, mathematical science guy. But I learned over the years that books matter. Bro,
books
are huge.
There's so much
knowledge in books. Like I have a new profound respect towards books.
That's how I got that profound respect back in like 2016, 17. I was like, man, there's a lot of information that is put in books on purpose. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people strategically do that because they know nobody's going to really seek it in a book. So they put it in a book. Right.
Read like that.
Exactly. Nobody's really trying to read, especially in this day and age. Everything is
put in front
video, phone, convenience, access, easy access. Yeah. So nobody's.
And then is when that transition happened when I finally started getting into reading.
Yeah.
More. Because like I was like, that shit's put in front of you to distract you in the first place.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just go out my way.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, going out my way is like going out my way twice as much because I'm going out my way doing something I don't want to do. It's just reading. Like, fuck yeah, I gotta do it. It's like a chore.
Yeah.
Like,
they say if you want to hide something, put it in a book.
Yeah, exactly. But then that's why I also try to push the numerical side, like logic and math and reason.
Arithmetic.
Yeah, exactly. Because like shit adds up.
Yeah.
Shit really does add up in life too. Just like how reading, you can learn a lot of knowledge from that, literacy wise and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Numerically, shit can actually add up.
Right.
And you can actually come to a solution of why this is going on.
Yep.
If you put the pieces together.
Yeah.
And that's math.
Yeah.
So it's like the two do align. People be like, man, I don't need math. Fuck math. I'm like, oh, you tripping. They're like, you wondering why this is happening to you? It's because you're missing that piece to the problem.
Math is the universal language. That's the real universal language. It's numbers.
Exactly.
If you don't know how to speak,
no matter what country you're from,
you understand what 2 + 2 is. You understand what number 1 is, 2, 3. Everybody understands that language.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to money. Everybody talks the same talk then, right?
Hey, the U.S. dollar is still the most universal currency.
It's the most universal, but not the most powerful.
Yeah, the most universally accepted.
It's the most, So you got, you heard about BRICS?
Oh, yeah.
They're trying, it's basically a bunch of powerful countries.
The British, it's like, it's not anti-NATO, but it's not pro-U.S.
It's a currency that a bunch of countries are coming together with.
It's because like it's the UK is one of them. It's the UK. I want to say I don't want to just start naming countries and getting it wrong, but they're one of the countries. I want to say France is a part of it.
I'm about to tell you right now.
Yeah. There you go. That's why you got to see. That's why we're doing things different.
I've done some research on it. Yeah, just keeping up with it here and there. But BRICS is an intergovernmental organization comprising of 9 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates.
UAE.
Yeah. BRICS was originally identified to highlight investment opportunities. The grouping evolved into a geopolitical bloc, with their governments meeting annually at formal summits and coordinating multilateral policies since 2009. Relations among BRICS are conducted mainly based on non-interference, equality, and mutual benefit.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
They're like the counter to NATO.
Yeah. Currently, the group is dominated by China, which has about 70% of the organization's total GDP. Combined, the BRICS members encompass about 30% of the world's land surface and 45% of the world population. South Africa has the largest economy in Africa, whereas Brazil, India, and China are among the world's 10 largest countries by population, area, and gross domestic product. Let's see. To some in the West, the BRICS countries are considered the alternative to Western-dominated institutions led by nations of the G7 bloc, comprising some of the leading developing economies. Together, they have implemented competing initiatives such as the New Development Bank, the BRICS Contingent Reserve Arrangement.
No, you're doing better than I would.
Yeah, the BRICS Pay, the BRICS Joint Statistical Publication, and the BRICS Basket Reserve Currency.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're trying to create their own economy.
They're trying to create their own economy. They're trying to create their own currency, basically to wean themselves off of the U.S. dollar's power on oil and gas and just resources in general.
Well said.
Yeah. So that's exactly basically what they're trying to do. And they've been
External
working on
power.
this. They've been working on this for decades.
Yep.
So
and now they're finally formulating as a power.
Yeah, they're getting strong. Yeah, while we're distracted by Jake Paul and Mike Tyson and all this other extra BS, they're doing this stuff behind our noses or under our noses, I should say. So, yeah, it's going to get real slowly but surely. You know, and I've heard coworkers of mine like bring it up to me, like they may not think I know about it. Like I remember this one female I used to work with, Natasha, this one woman, shout out to Natasha. She brought it up to me one day. She was like, hey, have you heard about BRICS? Like, that's kind of scary. Like, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh, yeah. The world is not playing with the U.S. They're not playing. Like, the world is tired of the U.S.'s BS, man.
Yeah.
For real.
It's because, like, our country is not that old compared to other countries, but the power our country has and what we do with the power is like so wishy-washy. It's lack of consistency with the power. It's like other countries can't trust us. And I'm just looking at it from the outside. I'm like I'm playing like non-American looking into America that is like has power and trying to work with America. It's like one second you fuck with America and all this stuff, but then another view that you don't fuck with America go against you. Actually, like what the fuck, and fund some shit that like against you. Wait, I thought I fuck with you, but then you're funding this shit against me. Like, what? I thought we funded. Like, it's just like, yeah.
There's a difference between
power.
There's a difference between power and stronghold. Mm-hmm. I think the U.S. has more of a stronghold on a lot of economies around the world, not necessarily genuine power. Because genuine power has to be mutual, right? There has to be a mutual agreement between two parties. Be like, okay, yes, we agree. Both of us agree that you should have the say so. That's genuine power. That is a genuine giving of power to somebody. Yeah, I think the U.S. has taken it by force a lot of the time. I think the U.S. has strongholded a lot of countries economically, strangled them economically into making them dominant economically.
You're going deep to a place where...
That's what I think.
You're going deep to a place where I agree with you, but like at the same time, I don't know if they're ready for that. Because I'm just saying. There's a thing that said that history is told by the ones who won. But then it doesn't mean that the ones who won were saints.
Were the righteous ones.
Yeah. And that's what happens. And it's just like, unfortunately, U.S. are winners. But they didn't win in the most. Like we're all humans. It wasn't just all holy. It was some dark shit in that winning that they sweep under the rug and just glorify the fact that, well, we protected these group of people. Well, we care for those group of people. But we don't know what it took for us to do that for those group of people, which was real inhumane. But they don't want to do it. Like, that's like the type of shit. Like, if you really want to call out the same people that you live within, then you're Benedict Arnold. But it's like, we're all humans, so we're just like acknowledging life. That's really what we're doing. We're just acknowledging life as it is. Like me personally. Here's the thing: why even me and my cousin, we're individuals within ourselves, but we have a respect for one another. I don't like the whole idea of making excuses for anything. No matter where you come from, who you are, and all the other stuff, I don't like that idea. Because at the end of the day, we all have our different types of things that we have to deal with. In this modern day, while we living, we all have our different types of shit that we have to deal with. Even when it comes to the white people and all that shit. Let a white person be in the black neighborhood. Oh, is shit real racist then? Whenever they're in the white neighborhood, they're in the black neighborhood just minding their own business, but because they're white, that motherfucker gets picked on? Is that something? Like there's like circumstances matter in our time. Yes, historically is historically. That's why when we go historically, I'm not as unbiased. Like it's facts is facts when it comes to history. But in our modern day, it still is something to address. So I don't like all that excuse buildup and all that other bullshit and like all this other micro trying to victim blame and all this other like, oh man, that shit irks me.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what it always comes back down to. It's trying to point the finger, and deflect accountability on your own side. And like, fuck, shit is draining.
Man.
Hey, speaking of Q, you can go ahead and cue up that clip.
Yeah, you can do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Listen, this next topic, right, is it's important to me because I seen Diddy on he was on Earning Leisure over doing Invest Fest, and shout out to them. And this is something I already knew about black people, but black people in America, we spend like $1.8 trillion a year just on goods and stuff like that. Definitely. But with all that money being spent, none of it is going into black-owned businesses and things of that nature. So the question is, why, even though black people are spending a significant amount of money, why don't you think enough of it goes back into black-owned businesses?
Just the education. Education plays a big factor. Again, going back to the fact that we're in low-income communities, we go to these public schools where we're not learning these subjects. We're not learning about escrow, and we're not learning about real estate, and we're not learning about how he didn't know that, he had you get a credit card, you got to pay it back. It affects your credit. We don't learn about these things in school. I feel like if you do go to a community, and yes, I'm talking about the uppity communities where they have the education, they're having classes on how to have real estate and how to have businesses and stuff in high school. We're not getting that. So I feel like that plays a major part in it. By the time we do learn it, maybe in college, if we go to college, by the time we do learn it, and we're trying to like factor in like, okay, who can I talk to? Where's the right connections? How do I network? Now you got to go into that part. And,
you
at
talking
that
about
point,
building businesses. What I'm saying is, why don't we spend our own money on those businesses?
Because we don't have the education to
financial literacy.
Financial literacy.
Black businesses. So we got the education to spend it with other people, other communities? That's what you're saying?
Yes, they invest their money. We give the money to them. They invest it. They give the money to us. We give the money to us, but we don't invest it.
No, I think it's more like, besides like the education part, it's just like a crabs in the barrel mentality. I think we just everyone is for themselves. Like black people just don't have unity no more. Like we would rather like go ahead and make like a business with someone that's not even black and go that route than to actually like use people that are black and want to build a business together, because you feel like if this person does better, then he's going to be more successful, then you're not going to be as successful as that person. Right. And I just feel like people just don't want to have unity no more. Everyone is just like, if I can make it to the top first, then so be it. So
every man for themselves.
Yeah,
we're not being groomed to say like, let's invest in our community the way that, and before people say I'm anti-Semitic or anything like that, the way the Jewish people do. Like the Jews, they literally go to their schools and they're teaching their generations like, hey, we gotta invest in our community. Right. We gotta go to the government, talk about what we need. We got to have our polices and our ambulances and our businesses and our apartments and our homes, and make sure that my home goes to my children and so on and so forth. Like again, it goes back to
we the only ones bragging in music videos about having a Jewish lawyer. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody brags about having a black lawyer.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So that's a good point that you have made.
I think it all starts in the household. Like, like a lot of these non-black races, they teach them to always keep it in the family. So you're going to marry someone that looks like you. You're not going to date outside your race. And that's like a big factor too. Like we're very open to dating outside our race and giving our money to someone that's not black, and then you're destroying that lineage right there. When we need to keep in the family, like how we were when we were having Black Wall Street, we were running the country after when we were segregated. Like I think black people were just better off when we were segregated because we had more of a sense of unity than we were when we were integrated. Because now that we're integrated,
I like that you said that, because some people might hear that and they might be like, "What is she talking about?"
It's
but
true,
I actually do agree with you.
At that point,
now that we're integrated, we want to be in the mix of everything. Like all of a sudden now, we want to sit at their table. Like we never was at their tables.
We had our own.
We had no problem making our own tables, doing our own thing, and we were thriving, doing way better than they were. So it's like we need to go back to that. I honestly believe that we need to go back to that. We need to go back to making sure that when we spend the black dollar, it circulates at least 10 times before it leaves our community, before it goes to someone else.
That part, that statistic for us is really bad.
We need to we need to get all of these other non-black businesses out of our communities, because you can't even go into an Asian community and set up a shop. Like that's just never gonna happen. Right? Like it will never happen. You can't go into a Jewish community. You can't go on Kingston Avenue and Eastern Parkway and set up a shop. Like the Jews are gonna look at you like you're crazy.
Get them the fuck up out of here.
So I just think
even with the
talk about buying this.
Like with the Asian communities, we got China buying up everything. They're making contracts with the government that a lot of people don't know about.
They getting the money granted to them.
And then
they're flying over here with $100K. Here you go, make a restaurant.
They make their real. They make their establishment after their establishment is paid off. They're giving it to their friend, their cousin, or whatever, and then they're gonna get another place with the same contract they got, and they just keep it going, and it happens here, happens around the world. It's just something that we just don't advocate for ourselves enough, especially in politics and in the government, where we're like, hey, we need this much money, we got these businesses, we're gonna work together, and my business is gonna be your business, you're gonna put somebody else on, and so on and so forth. We don't put each other on. Not enough, at least.
Yeah.
But I also think is the support though, like it'd be easier if we support each other for us to put other people on. Because if your business ain't thriving, how you gonna put other people on? You know what I mean? So it comes with the support, like Eli said, even if you're an entrepreneur, you're dependent on people to support your product. You know what I mean? So it's really in supporting each other and being intentional about supporting each other. I think black people, like you said, the crabs in the barrel mentality, like they think if just because he made it, that means you can't make it. You know what I mean? He might make it. Remember that you was helping him out and he pulled you up with him. Like, we gotta, I don't know, we just gotta look at each other differently. We don't look at each other as like brothers and sisters no more. It's crazy. You guys, I agree with the crab in the barrel mentality, like to a certain degree. I still believe that we're systematically oppressed. It may not look like that because we have like the LeBrons, the Jay-Z's and stuff like, but literally we don't have the opportunity or the money to put in to start businesses. And look, that's not true. Look, I'm gonna even break it down. And I'm just talking about on a small portion. If you look at a bodega, a regular store, I've seen, black owners have stores, right? Where I can not see nothing in there but like 6 bags of chips. And, they sandwich might cost a little bit more. But we don't know that. We need to support them so they can now have 10 bags of chips. You get what I'm saying? Like, yes, it might cost us a little bit more than what Tom, Dick, and Harry, but they got a whole... Aki got 50,000 stores. They're homies. They're buying up the block. They have 3 stores. They have a regular store, then they get the 99-cent store, then they got the hair weave store. If women
if black women are the biggest consumers in hair products, why the fuck are they not running our stores? You get what I'm saying? Like, not saying, and why are not black men putting them, helping putting them in those positions where they can do it and we can. I think once we start to understand, okay, I can even say us, we're a brand, right? And we're an entity at some degree, but we're still at the lowest bottom of the barrel. You get what I'm saying? We're still trying to be somewhere, and we can't put people in position. Yeah, we speak on this, but we're still, we got to do regular jobs. I think if we pick people that we want to help, that you believe that would help enforce what you want to do, like, okay, you have a goal. Our goal is to make, families come back, right? Mm-hmm. And if you say, hey, I see what they're doing, let me support. Not saying if you don't got it, you don't got it. Right. But if you do, let's invest into that and let's see how they can bring other people in, bring more families in. If we keep worrying about, well, look, they getting their little views on YouTube, they good, they don't need my support. Mm-hmm. It don't work like that. You get what I'm saying? Shit don't work like that. You get what I'm saying? Like these other groups of people, literally, you brought up a group, right? They give people millions of dollars to buy buildings.
Yeah. They go,
and we can't even get $2 to buy a sandwich at a store. You get what I'm saying? So it is crab in a barrel, but we are like still systematically oppressed. We don't go to the banks. We don't own most of the banks, so they're not giving us the fucking loan. They looking at your what?
They they actually literally look at where you live, where you're from, and there's like a division line, and they'll be like, you can make a certain amount of money, you can make the right amount of money that you could pay back the loan, and because you live in a certain area, based on, you could literally be right across the divide, and they will not give you the loan.
They even said Uber, look at your names and charge you differently based off your race.
That's crazy.
I heard of that too.
I heard that.
Oh no,
like it's crazy.
That's your social security number. If you're a black person,
that's literally a wage gap.
Number, I believe
that they won't even
banks look at your social security
because they think a wage gap. Oh,
I heard about that too.
And decline your request based off of that.
I don't know how to truth. I remember you was telling me that. And it was some other shit. I don't know. It didn't make sense. I did see something like that, and I checked with a couple of people.
But the Uber shit was proven.
I got to see about that Uber shit.
Look it up, y'all. Look up the Uber shit.
I mean, they had a lawsuit a few years back where it was actually proven that they were denying black people loans and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we don't see enough value in each other. Like, you know what I mean? And
professionalism.
Yeah, and I think unfortunately we see more value in other brands. This is why some of the biggest fashion brands today that's non-black seem to be some of the most popular because we have promoted it that way. Like, imagine if we were promoting a lot more black-owned brands, they will be on the same level as these, high-end brands.
Another thing I was saying about that, like the famous people, right? I remember when Ralph Lauren got hot among black people, like Kanye West was like, I'm Ralph Lauren, this, that. Every video he got on a polo shirt, everything, right? Imagine if he was supporting like a black brand, you know what I mean? He could have made that shit popping off the strip because he Kanye West, you know what I mean? But I think like that's what I was saying. If you were in a higher place, help out the little people, like.
Yeah. But that's another thing too. Like, I feel like there's certain black people in a higher position, but that doesn't mean that they're for us. Like, I feel like rappers and like entertainers, they're not like the people that we should be looking at in terms of like for us. I think we should look at people like Dr. Umar, 19 Keys, like black farmers who actually are going to bring more value and help push the black race than the people that they just put there to make it seem like we're doing well.
True.
Because
I agree. Definitely got to be. We got to
look at how they get propped up in the first place.
Definitely got to be intentional and start with your kids. Raising them to see black as being valuable and seeing something that they want to support.
You got to stop buying your kids the stupid shit too.
That is a fact.
You got this fucking baby wearing Balenciaga and Gucci. You stupid.
That is stupid. I don't know why they're doing that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think we just got to get back to that because obviously the buying power is there clearly. It's just that we're not investing it back into our communities, and hopefully a lot of
one more point. People be looking at like black products and stuff. They'll buy a Ralph Lauren t-shirt, white tee. A pony on it, $80.
A pony.
Like, $80.
True.
But then when we come out with a t-shirt, $25 on the website, by the way, you know what I mean?
Some niggas charging too much. Like that's too much. That's too crazy. Like I'm like,
that's all I'm saying.
I gave y'all niggas a few.
I have one more point to make though. The professionalism definitely is a major factor. You will never see the head of Balenciaga or Ralph Lauren. If there's an issue with the product or something, that you will never see them directly addressing the customer. They have somebody that does that for them. Like, this is my PR help. Like, somebody just professionally helping them. Like, this is how we're gonna fix your situation because your product just wasn't good. Or another thing is like, and obviously if you're starting a small business, you're not gonna have that PR person. You are your PR person. Right. If something goes wrong, you can't be arguing back with your customers. You can't be like, be outlandish and ghetto.
True.
Lately, like, when we had the whole raw reviews,
right,
going crazy, like it was a lot of, oh well, this person did really good or this person did really bad, and I feel like something like that kind of really just like deteriorated a lot of black businesses.
And we quick to bash each other on businesses. Once something go wrong that we don't like, now we want to be on social media blasting them and this.
I'm not gonna lie, there were some people that had to quickly defend, like, oh no, I went to that girl before, she did good, like, because I felt bad because I'm like, she did good with me. I feel bad that they had a bad experience, but and then another thing, like, they gotta just present themselves better. Like, I'm sorry that happened to you. Maybe I can give you a discount next time. Maybe I could work on my craft.
Understand that,
things like that. More?
Because
okay.
No, that was about the end of it though.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a lot to take in though. But
no, it was a great conversation. Shout out to that podcast.
Yes, Daily Rap Crew.
That was a good conversation.
Y'all follow, subscribe, like their shit.
Tell them Hddn Knowledge sent you.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's a dope little conversation, man.
What's your what do you think, like, as far as like the whole?
It's interesting and it's ironic that you played that video. Social engineering. It goes back to that. You know what I mean? Like, who is in charge of socially engineering our mentalities into being this way? You got to go back. You got to go back to slavery. You got to go back to, the inception of white supremacy. That's what you have to go back to. Because, and homie was saying systematic, but I'm going to just say it's white supremacy. Like, that's what it is. White supremacy creates this social engineering concept to further subjugate black people.
So I would ask for you to define white supremacy. Like, what is this? Because like white supremacy to some people could just be a vague term. Oh, are you saying it's just like
white supremacy? No, white supremacy means
who are these white supremacists? Who are these people?
White supremacy.
What's the origin of white supremacy?
White supremacy is it's a mental thing. It's a concept. It's a thought. It's an ideology. Right? It's a religion. It simply means I can dominate you, kill you, do whatever I want with you with impunity, and you can't do anything about it because I have a military that's backing up my ideology. So whether you like it or not, I'm going to force you into this pigeonhole and you're going to do as I say, and you can't do anything about it militarily. You can't, because I have a military that's backing me up. That's white supremacy, right? So with that being said, there's about 9 areas of society that make up the basis, the foundation of a society. Entertainment, religion, medical, education, war, sex, and I'm missing a few others, but there's about
putting you on the spot. That's a lot to name.
Yeah, there's about
interesting.
all these areas of activity. Keep going. If you take a step back and you look at them, they're dominated by a certain group in society. Of course, you have your outliers, your abnormal, the few sprinkled black people, Asian, Hispanic here and there. But in large numbers, it's generally ran by a certain group of people with impunity.
So when you say white people, are you putting like pigmentation? It doesn't matter, like, as far as origin of the white, like if they're like
no, I mean, because
Danish
not all white people
or Jewish,
no, because all white people don't practice white supremacy.
Yeah,
but when you take a step back and look at the society that we have to live every day, and you see the stuff that happens around us, and you see certain dynamics that play out, and you see the uneven yokingness of everything, you're going to see who gets favored more. It's the proof is in the pudding.
The favoritism is based off of who's been running.
Yeah, the general favoritism. Now you're going to have a few
You're
going to have a few moments here and
like
there.
Generality.
Yeah, where it favors OJ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nuances. But the exception doesn't make the rule, though.
Exactly. The exception
Majority
doesn't make the rule in this system. Yeah. Right. So, going back to social engineering, that, white supremacy, this systematic oppression that homie highlighted, social engineering is one of the weapons that systematic oppression uses, aka white supremacy, right? My thing is, here's how I like to attack it. You say crab in a barrel. Crabs aren't supposed to be in a barrel. Who put the barrel there? Who put the crabs in the barrel? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's where I like to go with it. I like to attack the barrel. Like, who put that there? Who put these crabs into the barrel in the first place? Crabs are supposed to be where? On a beach, sand, in the water. That's our natural habitat.
He's cooking.
That's all I'm saying. Like, who put the barrel there and who put the crabs in the barrel? White supremacy did. That's who did it.
White supremacy did.
Right. That's the reason why we're in the damn barrel in the first place.
So it's a control.
Yeah. It's a again, going back to the definition of white
control
supremacy.
Malfunction.
Right. White supremacy means I can dominate you, I can kill you, I can do whatever I want with you with impunity, and you can't do anything about it because I'm militarily backed by what I want to do with you. That's white supremacy. And who has the most illustrious, complex military in the world? The U.S. We spend billions of dollars per month on U.S. defense. I believe the number is like $15 billion a month or something like that.
For sure.
On defense. We're the most strongest military in the world right now.
Okay. And
there's all sorts of racist ish that goes on in the U.S. that takes place that has this uneven yokeness going on and favors a certain group of people. That's not to say individually there's people like your homie Rob, I'm sure, and individuals here and there don't practice white supremacy. They don't wake up every day and think, like, how can I dominate a black person? Yeah,
you're not talking about your everyday general white person.
But like collectively,
group. Okay, like,
and in large numbers, Rob does benefit, though. Indirectly, he does benefit being white in a systematic.
He wouldn't deny that either.
He benefits.
He wouldn't deny.
Yeah. I mean, all white people do.
Here's the thing: is that you're spot on with what you're saying, and even when you further elaborated that this isn't something that a majority of white people are out here in privilege of, like, by choice. Like, they're not out here just taking advantage of it by, like, choice, but, like, it is there to take advantage of. So, like, therefore, like, they're just doing what they're doing, but, like, the opportunity is there, they take it. But it's not like they're doing it for that opportunity, for that reason to feel superior. But the opportunity is there, they take it. But it has nothing to do with feeling superior.
Right.
At the same time of taking the opportunity.
But that's how deep and complex and solid this system is. It's so complex and so chess-like that it has innocent white bystanders like the Robs of the world taking advantage or taking opportunities without half the time realizing that you're doing it against another group of people. You see what I'm saying? That's how ugly, that's how deep and heavy this system is.
Well, like, what if I was to even go deeper about, like, an example of that is that comparing Rob to Ernie. And what, like, they're both in the same type of business.
Right. Yeah.
And Rob is, like, because Rob's 5 years younger than me.
Right.
And Ernie's 5 years older than me. So
right.
They're a decade apart.
10 years apart.
But
right,
I would say that they're on the same tier.
Right.
Or if not, Rob is doing better.
Right.
Even though that age gap still exists. But then the younger one is white and the older one is black.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe that plays a factor.
Yeah.
But only reason why I wouldn't use that as a reason because I know both of them, my cousin and one of my best friends. Mm-hmm. And Rob's been in the game since he was fresh out of high school.
Right.
So, but Ernie started the gun shit later.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just want to use that as an example.
Yeah. But see, Rob as an individual.
Like, Ernie has a shop. Right. Rob works from home.
Right. But Rob as an individual, see, he's willing to work with Ernie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So see, that goes to my point.
Yeah, they both work
He
together,
doesn't wake up and try and execute and exercise white supremacy.
Exactly.
Or
he's not trying to only work with his own.
Right. He doesn't think like a white supremacist. No. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Now there's other white people like that you go to work with or I go to work with that think like that.
That will prioritize.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll
not
think,
just the best one or the best opportunity or network within the people they know. Right. But like purposely seek out their way to only look out for those that look like them. And you know what?
They should, but they shouldn't do it at the expense of us.
Yeah.
And that's what historically it's usually been. They'll do it.
It's a suppression.
Right. They'll do it. They'll be like, homie, go forward. Go back, black person. Homie, go. It's like they're pushing like this.
Yeah.
And that's what it's been.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, it's like it's been like a
progress them and keep suppressing them.
Right.
Yeah.
So it makes this push easier. You know what I'm saying? It's to where we don't have to anymore. And lately, they really at times don't even have to push. They just have to accept the fact that they're in a privileged system that's going to help them. And you're going to get multiple chances. You're going to get more chances than us. And just know that.
Yeah, it's really just facts over feelings. Because you might better within yourself, and you feel a different type of way. I don't feel like that's the case on my behalf, but the facts are the facts, and the facts is that you do benefit, and there is a pressure or suppression on the other side, where it's like you have to it's kind of like there's a term called hoflation that I mentioned on the previous episode of the podcast, but it's like you have to do way more to just get the bare minimum of the other. Yep. And I say hoflation because that's what going back to dating. We haven't really talked about dating for once on this episode. So it's the term called hoflation is because women are more promiscuous now than ever, but then they're expecting guys to be better than guys have ever been because to be better, to be able to protect and provide and everything else nowadays, what you have to do economically, financially, all that stuff to compensate for that is way more. Just for the type of women that are not as chaste and pure and reserved and submissive and everything else. So it's like an imbalance. But that's the common denominator within the black community towards becoming successful. We have to do that much more just to get the bare minimum of it. And it's just is it even worth it? So that's where it's a constant battle within that. And it's systematic. It is systematic.
So
it's
my thing
is facts are facts.
And my way to best combat the system is what they were talking about in the clip. They were basically, the subject was how to create an economic base to financially empower your group. That's basically what they were talking about.
It's internally. So we have to do it within ourselves.
So that's, to me, that's a good start to combat systematic oppression. Mm-hmm. Is to economically circulate your money and your resources within your group. Black people.
We do that right now with this.
Yeah. This is a black-owned studio.
We've been here for over a year now.
Yeah, we've been supporting it how we can. I wish we could do every week. Honestly, I wish we could book a session every Saturday. But obviously, we gotta make sure our monies is right.
Just like they were talking about on their podcast, they still got jobs and stuff.
They still got jobs and stuff, right?
And they're way bigger than us.
Because the more we book here, the more it supports the building, the company, the Sacred Stone.
And it's all within our same community.
Right. So
we're doing the same thing.
Right. Even though we're of African lineage, and they're foundational Black American. I'm assuming Black Americans. So, but it's all about support.
When
they're our cousins,
bro. When everyone else looks at us, they see the same.
Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Exactly. If you get pulled over,
the fact that we don't have accents.
Right. Right. I mean, because we were raised, we were raised
American,
here.
so we're the same.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So.
If we get pulled over, we're all the same. If it was, let's say it was Quincy, Marcus, me, and you in the car, and we get pulled over.
Oh, y'all all black. I don't care. They don't give a damn. It does not matter.
The fuck we talking about?
Yeah, they don't. It don't matter. It don't matter.
That's what I look at first.
But that goes to another.
I embrace my culture as far as like being a proud Cameroonian.
Right.
But like in a more broader scale, I'm black, bro.
Yeah, but see at the end, but now you're talking about a global scale now, right? Because white societies and different white.
I know, but
they have infighting.
Exactly.
But
I was gonna bring that up earlier, like Irish and Dutch and all this other shit.
They infight,
French,
but when it comes to oppressing us, they'll put their differences aside and keep us in check or attempt to. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do.
I'm not denying.
Prime example was in recent memory in history, Russia and Ukraine, right? Ukraine had it in with Russia still to this day, but. You remember the situation? There was reports that came out. I think CNN even reported on this. Black people that were staying in Ukraine were trying to get on an evacuation train, and a bunch of people that were running the trains, obviously they were all Ukrainians, were pushing all the black people off and letting all the Ukrainians on. There it is, right there. See, like if it was all about inclusiveness and everybody, they don't care it's first come first serve. I don't care who you are, black, white, whatever, African, whatever. But no. They made it a point to still, in the midst of war, in the midst of turmoil, still, black people, Ukrainians, get on. Still, you see what I'm saying? That's how deep this is, bro. It's deep. It's real deep. It's global. White supremacy is global. Systematic oppression is global.
I would say it is global. It's stronger in some countries than others, but it is global.
It's global.
Because, like, it's not as oppressive in other countries as it is in, like, more Western, especially like U.S. and stuff like that.
Well, the fact that the U.S. dollar dominates everywhere economically, trade-wise.
Yeah,
the U.S. could wake up one day and just decide to put sanctions on whoever they want. That's, and you know why they could do that? Because not only, like you said earlier in the episode, the dollar is the most universally used currency. Because that, plus the military backing, they can just wake up and be like, "I'm gonna put a sanction on you." Because you didn't do what we felt like was right.
As long as it doesn't involve China or Russia.
Oh no, they're not. Well, they still put sanctions on China. I could have swore like maybe like 5-6 years ago they put a sanction on China and on Russia. They put sanctions on Russia. Yeah,
that one we have to dig into.
Yeah, I could have swore, bro. I'm telling you.
I don't know if it was like really stronghold sanctions.
It might not have been a strong sanction, but
because those two countries could definitely fight with us.
Yeah, but you have to understand trade, right? The U.S. dollar is still the most universally used currency for trade. Yeah, that's why BRICS is making a push. They're trying to separate from that.
I know.
That's one part.
Why we brought it up.
Yeah, that's one crucial. If that happens officially. Man, the U.S. is in trouble. That's one step into getting taken over. When we don't have to rely on your currency no more.
Yeah, because currency and resources are aligned too.
Currency and resources are aligned. Now all we have to worry about is your military now. Exactly. It's like, all right, now
it's force.
We can just, now it's about force. Right. Now it's like, okay, you got the strongest military. Well, if I combine my military, I'm speaking like I'm China, my military with Russia and other countries around the world, India, other countries around the world, you're going to have your allies like Britain, France, but they're military. No, they're not. We're worried about you. We're worried about you.
We just got into geopolitics.
I know, right? We went from freestyling, we don't know what to talk about, into going off on a tangent on this. Well, that clip that you brought, just showed was kind of crucial. It was a great clip, by the way. I like that clip. That's a great clip. I mess with that clip.
Because like at some point, I noticed that with every episode we have, at some point we end up talking about our people. You know,
right?
Because like,
and I love that. I love how it comes back to that circle or comes back to that lane at some point. You
because know like even someone like me, who I actually rather not. It is just the common denominator within it.
Even think about with dating,
everything,
with sports,
everything,
religion,
everything,
money, medical.
Where you want to take it? We talked about every type of topic, but it always comes back to race to some degree.
It always does. It always has a circle. And you know what? Unfortunately,
that's why I just like, you know what? I'm just gonna embrace it now. Because I'm like, fuck it, I'm black. I don't like to see myself just as black, but I'm black, so I'm just gonna embrace my blackness.
It's unfortunate. It sucks that it has to be that way. We don't want this to be. It's the system that forces us to bring it back to that, because the system makes it about race. White supremacy, the whole, even in the word.
You feel that shit when you go about your life. Man. When you're like public and you're going about your life, you see how people treat you from how they treat other people and other stuff. And you're just going about your day, no matter if you're at work or school or wherever the fuck your community is. You see how people interact with you from other people just by their pigmentation even. Like we talk about our gender stuff from if you're a man or a woman, or there's even stuff from like age groups. The age groups are not as polarizing or like as captivating as like stuff like race or gender.
Right.
So like that's where like we talk about a lot of dating, if not race-based historical stuff. That's like tends to be our two meccas, because those are the two most differential stuff that's changing our society.
Right.
If it's not our race, it's our gender. It's man this, woman that, man this, woman that, or black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people. It's either that or the other.
Right.
Those are the two main meccas that always end up drawing division between us.
Yeah.
So we gotta address that shit as hidden knowledge to try to find solutions and pick apart the issues.
Yeah.
That's what we do, man.
Yeah. Real quick, let me tell you my Wells Fargo story.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Yeah, go ahead. Just to put the pin on the donkey.
Basically, long story short, it's not even a long story. Long story short, or it is a long story, but I'm gonna make it short. I was in a position credit wise, like I was working on my credit for so long. Got my credit basically up to a 800. It was like a 789 credit score. Had robust credit. Had multiple credit card lines, multiple credit lines, paying them back. You know. Took away all the derogatory marks, had everything on time, everything. So my credit was pristine. It was pristine, right? Had revolving income in my Wells Fargo account that I had open for like 8.5 years. So
What
that
year
was
was
the matter. This incident happened back in 2021.
Damn, that's not that long
Yeah.
ago.
So I was having a revolving door of income in and out of the account so they could see activity. I had about 10 G's in there going in and out, revolving door, right? So they can see I'm making money, taking it out, putting it in, activity. I was checking off all the boxes that were necessary to go into the bank and undeniably have some sort of loan presented to me. You know what I mean? So we even talked to a banker. I was speaking to a banker. She was like, she was looking over everything, all the actions that took place, all the checks that have been made. She was like, yo, there's no reason why you can't get $100,000 loan. No reason at all. None. She was like, this is like, and if you don't get the loan, then you'll get a counter offer. Cause that's what they usually do. Like if you're legit, they'll at least give you a counter offer with, at the very least, what's already in your account. Like if you have 10,000, and you're asking for 100, they'll be like, well, we can't give you that, but we can give you 10,000, right?
Yeah.
Or if you have 30,000 in your account, or if they see that you can generate or have a revolving door of, a gross of 20,000, 30,000 a month in and out, like over the months, they see like that's the amount of money that's being circulated. They'll give you a counter offer for that, right? Mm-hmm. So we submitted the offer for the underwriter for the bank. The underwriters are basically the people that give you the green light, the yes or the no.
Exactly.
They'll give you the money, right? So we did everything, submitted all the paperwork to the underwriters, right? Tell me why within 5-6 hours, come back and they say, no, we denied the loan and with no counter offer. And I was like, what? I was like, so you're telling me we don't even get I was like, wait a minute. So you're not going to give us a counter for 50 for half? Not even a counter for, because at the time when we submitted the paperwork, we had $10,000 in the account. So I was like, you're not even going to give me an offer for 10,000? What you see in the account right now, that's what's literally in the account right now. So it's not like we don't have $10,000 to pay it back. Like you're not even going to give that amount. Yeah. So we had an escalation call with Wells Fargo corporate. Like me and my business partner at the time, we called Wells Fargo. We escalated it. We told them what happened. And then they were like, all right, we're going to run an investigation and see what happened, see what happened. We're going to look over everything, da-da-da-da-da. They did that. They come back, or they call like a couple days later. They call us back and they're like, yeah, so after our investigation, we see that, the loan isn't plausible and you don't deserve the loan, or not deserve. They didn't say deserve, but they said it in a more professional way. They were like, well, we don't see that the loan is valid and this and that, so, we apologize, da-da-da-da. And we're like, because we submitted the escalation, by the way, based on racial discrimination. That was what our initial escalation submission was. It was based on that. So they came back and was like, yeah, we don't see that the loan is valid, and we don't see that you were racially discriminated against based on the process on how we dole out our loans. And me and my business partner looked at each other and we're like, so you see our credit score, right? The credit score for our business, 789. They're like, yeah, we see it. Like, we see the credit score. You see the revolving income. You see everything. So you mean to tell me you can't even give me a counter offer for what you see in the account right now? Yeah, that's how you know they're selective, bro. They're selective. That it goes back to homie's point that he made about Wells Fargo. You saw there was a national report that was made about Wells Fargo racially discriminating against black people asking for loans. Homie brought up the article. I said it right before he said it, and then he said it, and that article is real. I don't know what major media outlet reported on it, but yeah, I think it might have been C-SPAN or someone like that.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, so homie's right. I believe it because I experienced it for myself.
You just confirmed. Just confirmed what he said.
Yeah,
it's over.
Yeah,
checkmate.
Yeah, and so after that happened, I closed my Wells Fargo account. I took all my money out. I went to there's a black-owned bank in Houston called Unity National Bank. Took my money and I opened an account with them, and that's who I'm still with right now. So that's why I was like, yeah. And then obviously I plan on getting more accounts. I'm about to open up a credit union account. But yeah, I took my money out of them. I was like, man, F Wells Fargo, man. Like, Wells Fargo is so whack. Wow. So like I closed my account, and I was with them for 8.5 years. Closed my account, took my money out. I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I'm about to close my account. This is BS.
Wow.
It's bullshit,
Wells
right?
Fargo. Wells Fargo in the chat.
Yeah. So that's when I went over to Unity, and then I opened an account.
I've been with Wells Fargo a couple times too, and I didn't have good experiences with them like that. I'm not gonna lie, but damn, hearing the story, it's crazy to hear the story, but then whenever I start to process and everything, I'm not too surprised.
Telling you.
Which is the dark side of reality.
You know why? Because we're in a system of white supremacy. That's why. I'm not surprised. Wells Fargo is not owned by us. That's not a black-owned bank. You know what I'm saying? At all. Oh, so man. That's what the answer is. It's because we're in a system of oppression. That's why.
So those people with the oppression of the white supremacy and everything else, those owners, because like I like to point out like the Rockefellers and stuff like that, the lobbyists, the globalists and stuff like that,
right?
And we know that a majority are white. I just don't like to think that they're all white, but the concept of white supremacy still stands. So it's a concept.
You can have
so white supremacy doesn't mean like all white supremacists are white.
No,
that's why. So
you
have it's just the term.
You have black
people with power.
You have black saboteurs. You have other non-whites like Hispanics, Asian that practice white supremacy.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to get. Yes.
You have Asians. You have black Asians right now over in Asia that get discriminated against and oppressed and systematically. You have black Dominicans. You have black Hispanics that get subjugated. Right. So it's a global. This thing is a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is not
I just want any of the white people that hear white supremacy to know that it doesn't mean it's white people.
It's not.
It's just white supremacy is the term.
It's an ideology.
Yes.
It's a religion. It's a mental concept.
Yeah.
That unfortunately plagues the masses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the source is still the source. It's just the pigmentation is the source of power.
Next episode, I don't know if you know who Dr. Frances Cress Welsing is. She passed away a while ago, but I'm going to pull up a clip where she breaks down white supremacy into the 9 areas of what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
You're going to get a real clear explanation because she's a G. She's off
we're gonna
chain.
do that. We're gonna do
I'm going to have that clip ready next episode, and you're going to see, you're going to be like, damn, I have nothing to say. She's going to break it down. She has a book that I'm going to order off of Amazon on my list called The ISIS Papers. That's the name of her book. And it breaks
ISIS Papers.
It's called The ISIS Papers.
That's a
crucial
That's
book.
A controversial title.
It's a controversial title, but it talks about basically, systematic oppression globally.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, I'm gonna have that clip ready next episode.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you already know what it is. 52, episode 52 is brought to you. You already know what it is. It's H2O. The Cameroon Goon, Horton Here's a Who, Choice D, all of the above. Hidden knowledge. Yeah, you already know what it is. Go ahead,
break the chains off your mind.
Exactly.
See, we were just about to be up in here just messing around, and then look what happened. We started spitting fire. That clip helped though. We started dropping gems, man.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Who would have thought?
I felt like we did. I don't know. Y'all let us know. I don't know.
Exactly. Hey, W to the chat.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all.
We have our chat coming up.
Shout out to y'all. Yeah, you're gonna see it on the playback.
Yeah, man, that was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. Like we're actually doing shit.
Yeah, people are seeing, man. Even if they don't comment, I feel like people watch anyway.
Yeah,
they'll peep it. At least they'll be in and out. But anyway, my bad. I didn't mean to cut your shout out. Are you good?
No,
all right, it's your boy Junyani. Just type TheJunyanii on all platforms. You'll be able to find me. Type in one or the other or both. All platforms, social platforms. Hit me up for merch. DM me. And episode 52, Hidden Knowledge Podcast. We out. Peace.
Hidden Knowledge.